Welcome to this unboxing for Horror Block for March 2015, brought to you by GeekSubscriptionBox.com. This is the first horror block that I've had, and we'll just take a look at the box. Unfortunately it's rather covered with the customs label, but it still looks nice. Here you can see all the red colour, obviously that blood-like colour there for horror, and they have some really good logos in these boxes. This took about just over a week to get to the UK and a couple more days because I had to wait around for a delivery. I missed the first time, but otherwise it's a fairly swift delivery, very good compared to some of the United States boxes and Canadian boxes out there which seem to take forever. I haven't reached me yet. $19.99 declared total value. I'm deliberately not reading the customs declaration, which you can just about see there. Of course the prices are fairly fictitious to make it add up to that amount. The good thing about being in the UK with that is it's under the £15, 15 British pounds, after which you become liable for customs charges and whatever additions that companies want to add on for collecting those for you. So that's why I look for boxes that are under that amount. So I've pre-scored this already rather than try and use a knife live, which hasn't always proven to be that successful, but not opened it yet. So let's just take a look inside. There we go. You hear that satisfying sound of the box opening. Oh, don't open dead inside, so maybe we should hold back. Now let's go ahead. So we open up. Straight away we get the nice Horror Block logo, the hashtag Horror Block. Again, very professionally presented box. I think it really adds this anticipation. And straight to the t-shirt. T-shirts always seem to be picked to be put on the top of the box, and we've got a bike here with various bits of blood on it. It's probably more of a story if we unfold it a bit. Walker removal, Atlanta, Georgia, and Dixon motorcycle repair. Now I must admit I'm not the biggest person for being up on all my horror references, so that probably screams out at somebody a particular film reference there. But certainly it's a nice logo, nice simple shirt. I always prefer the ones without pictures of people on them, so this one works really well. Nice colour scheme. One good thing about these boxes are a lot of the lesser produced boxes you just get t-shirts with one colour on them, because obviously they're much cheaper to produce. But here we've got three colours. We've got red, white and yellow or gold, depending on what you view it as. So you get slightly more value for money, and it's a decent shirt made by Gilban Soft Style Ring Spun. So there's the t-shirt in the box. Let's see what else is inside. There's plenty more to unwrap. And I see straight away this tomb has remained sealed for over 10,000 years, open at your own risk, made in China. Why the made in China stands out. Do you dare break the seal of Atheras, designed for Nerd Block by Classified Novelties, produced in Yunnan, in China. 3D mummy puzzle. So presumably that implies to me it's going to be some kind of 3D-like jigsaw or something to construct. I prefer to see things give you more of a clue on the box, but let's look inside. Here we go. So it's a joystick of some kind by the look of it, 3D puzzle, and lots of pieces. So presumably, without breaking that down any further, the idea is we stick those pieces on what I said is a joystick, but perhaps actually is some kind of base unit, and make a mummy. Well, that's an interesting little item. That will probably be a novelty gift for somebody rather than me, but there's our mummy to construct. Let's have a look what else is in here. We've got possibly a letter opener, looking at it. There's a very scary clown. What does it say? Horror Block exclusive. Not a toy. Okay, so getting lots of exclusive items in here. Well, it doesn't really tell me what it is. It may be some kind of chain because of how it's constructed. There doesn't look to be a keyring part to it, so I wouldn't say it's that. I think because of that slightly sharp blade, I would say it's either a pendant or possibly a letter opener. Well, we'll have a look in a minute when we get to the card. The good thing about this box is it just tells you what everything is when we get to the bottom of it. We've got a bag here, and Actually, a very useful one. Walking Dead, exclusive. It's plastic, a sort of shoe bag, or possibly a bag for separating clothes at the gym, or something like that. I find I get through quite a few of those, so this one will definitely come in handy. The kind of thing you always think is useful, but you don't buy too often. And I mean, this is something which will come in handy, and it's a change from all the items where you get all the duplicates in boxes, where you get a never-ending supply of key rings or pin badges. It's there. And we've got one more big item here. So we recognise the logo. I think this is one of the exclusive items. I didn't pay that much attention to what was being advertised, but I think this is possibly the exclusive print here. So is that Wes Craven? Perhaps. I think he may have been in the box. And clearly it's designed to be hung on the wall, and I mean, looking at the hanger, it looks like it should be that way up, although to me that implies it's upside down, so perhaps the hanging point needs to be moved. But that will certainly suit a lot of people's walls. I don't think it quite fits with my design scheme, but it's small enough it can easily go on a shelf somewhere. And final item, we have a magazine, Room Org. I've never read this, because as I say, picked up this box a lot for interest, and also because there's a good discount when you order all 3 boxes. But I notice there's a common item in the box from looking at previous reviews, and I will read practically any magazine that's thrown at me. $9.95 value in the US, so if you were to buy this on the shelves, it would actually be quite an expensive item, and that's a very similar price to magazines in the UK. What would that be, about £6 or possibly £7? I know they're there. So certainly, maybe not one I'd buy, but it's certainly one I read, and looks to be well put together. Nice colourful item there. Big advert you notice for Horror Block there, $19.99 a month plus shipping. So of course it's really slightly more than that. But absolutely no problems. I like getting magazines in boxes, so the more they can continue the better. And finally, we've got the card here, the Vamp Stamp of Approval. Liana loves this month's shirt. Oh, so it's Walking Dead, which is one of those things I mean to get into, but there's never quite enough hours in the day. So that's Dixon Motorcycle Repair. And there's Liana. Let's see what else is in here. Officially, according to the card, we've got the... Oh, it's Lee Howard print, so... Yes, Lee Howard sounded familiar there. We've got the... Oh, it's a keycap. Give your keys a spooky makeover with your very own Horror Block keycap. So, let's look at it again. So, presumably... and there's 2 different designs of that possible in the box. That goes over the end of your keys. And maybe that knife there is a bit of a novelty item. Presumably you don't want that sticking out and sticking into you while you're using your keys, but perhaps there's some reason for it. Be something to explore there. You got the Walking Dead bag with the drawstring bag. Wind-up mummy. Oh, the wind-up mummy must be the 3D puzzle. So that explains there what the winding device is. It looks a bit like a joystick, so that becomes a wind-up walking mummy. So that's a bit more fun immediately, now we know it's wind-up. Surprising, it doesn't actually say anything about it at all on the box, so it's completely kept as a mystery item there. And then finally the Rue Morgue horror magazine, Canadian Horror, there, presumably because this box ships from Canada, but the price is there in both US and Canadian dollars, looking at $9.95. So actually there's a really good selection of items here. Let's just run through them. So there's the t-shirt, the bag, there's the Lee Howard print, there's a Room Morgue, there's the leaflet, little keycap, a more unusual item, and there's our wind-up mummy. So you can take a look at all of those items there, plus the t-shirts and the bag. I think this one is really good value. I don't know if it's a subscription that I would get every month, just purely because I don't have quite that interest in horror. But I think if the magazine proves to be good, and I know you get this one regularly, then that will certainly improve the chances of a reorder from me, because I do like reading whatever magazines. And let's face it, magazines tend to be pretty expensive in the shops nowadays. The more you can get sent to you in a convenient manner, the better. So you can just about see everything there. So let's sign off. This is Horror Block for March 2015, unboxed and just briefly reviewed. Stay tuned for a full review on the website at geeksubscriptionbox.com. Hope you enjoyed looking at the exclusive contents.